first started flipping land, it was literally the gold rush. Like, I remember sending out 5,000 mailers and getting deals back immediately. 10,000 mailers, getting deals back immediately. And I'm talking about like home runs, like ridiculous. Texting was easy. You could send out a ton of texts. The TCPA laws were nowhere near what they are now. And it really was the gold rush. But unfortunately, the land flipping gold rush is over. And here's what the smart people are doing. And if you want to go beyond the low middle class of what I call anywhere from like $100,000 to $300,000 to upper middle class to even upper class and high class, and that is $1 million in profit or more with the land flipping business, well, then here's what smart money is doing. Here's what I'm actually doing in my business. Here's what my clients are doing that have printed and had some amazing results just within 90 to 100 days of working with me. So first of all, the old form of just sending mail and just sending text and just kind of hoping for the best doesn't work anymore. You can't just send mail expecting things to just like hit for you. It's not going to work like that. You have to be able to send mail, first of all, consistently, and you also have to be able to reframe the value delivery. If you can reframe the value delivery to a seller based upon the problems that they're having, then you're going to be able to make a lot of money because no one else is doing this. How can you frame your company as the most professional company out there? How can you frame the problem that you can solve as the most important problem that a seller needs solved? Because the reason why people are not getting back to you and they're ghosting you is because you haven't framed yourself to be of any level of importance to them, to where you can add value to them. And this is what we do in our marketing. This is what we do in how we talk to people. This is what we do in how we break down calls and how we get to know our sellers. We do all of this. And there's no AI market selection tool. There's no AI mail generator. There's no AI, no new system can replace this. No new system can replace the human connection, because you can pick the best markets ever. You can pick the best markets that you can ever pick, right? That look good on paper. You can have all the filters. You can say, okay, all these people are out of state. All these people are out of county. You can have all that. But your mailer can still bomb. And even if it doesn't bomb, even when people call you back, and if you don't know how to talk to those people, if you don't know how to follow up, if you don't know how to set the touch points, if you're not willing to make 50 or 60 or 70 touch points, well, then you're going to fail. You're not going to make $100,000 on a deal, because I'm going to follow up 100 times. Without a doubt. I know that it's a process. It doesn't come as easy. Like, I remember, like, and I feel bad if you're just like getting into this business, because you may not ever know what it feels like to get a contract in the mail to where you didn't talk to someone and you're going to make $100,000 on that deal. Like, I mean, a signed contract in the mail. Someone literally looked at the offer, took the second page, signed the second page for whatever price it was, sent it back in the mail. We closed the deal, never spoke to them. This has happened to me multiple times, but it happened earlier. And this is what I would call the gold rush of land flipping. It was when there were very few creators on it, very few people had learned about it, and land was just kind of like, oh, land, what can you do with land? Everyone was wholesaling houses. The boat's over. That's been missed. But there's still so much money to be made, because now it's not easy. It's not easy anymore. So the fact that it's not easy anymore, it actually makes it a lot easier for the people that are intentional about it to go up to that next level. And you have to make a very pivotal decision in your career, in your path right now. Are you going to be a person that's in the low class? Are you going to be a person that just settles for the 100, 200, 300K a year? Or are you going to be a person that wants to make $500,000, $2 million a year in your land flipping business? Like, it's up to you. It's up to you, but you can either do one or the other. You can't do anything in between. You got to do one or the other. Okay, you want to have a lifestyle business, or do you want to build? Do you want to have such a cash printer that it allows you to grow your net worth? It allows you to take care of your family. It allows you to travel everywhere. Or do you just kind of like want to like, okay, I'm just comfortable? Because you can do both. You can like properly build an empire with the land flipping business if you just do it right. And if you stay consistent. And I really want people to realize that like this thing doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. And you have to be able to iterate as you go. You have to be able to build systems. You have to be able to talk to as many people as possible. You have to be able to understand what makes a good market, what makes a bad market. You have to know how to connect with local brokers. You have to know how to build all these things into your business. And then on top of all that, the delegation is extremely important. If you want to be a person that gets to $500,000, $600K, $1 million plus, you have to delegate. You have to delegate. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to have a lifestyle business, you can't be working in the business all the time. That's not going to work. There's no kind of, like, I spend a couple hours a week on my business at this stage. And it's the greatest thing ever. Because, like, you mean to tell me that all I have to do is sign a few HUDs and we just print cash? And so if you want to be in that position, you want to be at that point where you're able to just kind of print cash, you have to do this day in, day out, talk to people, send the texts, send the mail. Don't skip a day. Don't skip a single day. And as you're doing this, record your processes. As you record your processes, you get better at them. You figure out what's working. You figure out what's not working. And there's no AI tool. There's nothing that will replace that for you. It doesn't exist yet. And I mean, there's even certain things that I'm testing in my business as well, as far as, like, you know, some certain bots, certain automations that we're placing into our business to make things a lot more simple. Even, like, I'll give an example. So with our seller framing process, when we have a seller that comes into our CRM and we've already had a conversation with them, we have a 30-day seller framing process with them for 30 days. And, like, for 30 days, we're value bombing. Like, we're value bombing. It's not just like, oh, hey, dude, did you want to sell your land? No. We're giving specific case studies. Hey, here's how we helped John do this for this. We bought the property at this. This was their problem. And this is how we can help you too. Hey, just wanted to check in and see if you saw this story. Hey, here's another story about our company. Hey, here's another way we can help you. And we also do this based upon the problem that we identified based upon the call. No one is doing this. No one is doing this. So on top of following up via phone call, you're also getting consistent emails from me. You also have resources. You have ebooks from my company as a seller. So this is why, like, when you make the experience, I mean, immersive for a seller, when you make it so that they feel like they know you and they can like you and they trust you, you're going to get the deal. You're going to get the deal, because most people are just like, oh, well, do you want to sell it or not? When you focus on framing them properly, you focus on building a relationship and building rapport and handling the objections and knowing when the objections come. Like, this is the other thing. Do you handle objections in the beginning of the call or at the end? Do you kind of wait for them to give them objections, or do you ask a line of questioning that is in a way of, like, getting the objections out of them? How do you do it? So how do you handle the family objection? How do you handle the wife objection? How do you handle the, oh, I don't really need to sell it objection? How do you handle any of these things? If you don't know how to handle these objections, you're losing a lot of money. And this is the thing, like, when people ask me about, like, you know, is there anything I can do in my data? Is there anything I can do in my market selection? Yes, but, like, the biggest lever you can pull, if you've picked, like, I would rather pick a 7 out of 10 market and have 10 out of 10 acquisition skills than have 7 out of 10 acquisition skills and a 10 out of 10 market. Because if I have the skills, then I can negotiate to where I need to negotiate, to where I can make profit consistently. It's about the skill of talking to people. And when you have that skill of talking to people, you have something that most people don't have. And then when it comes to, like, pricing and selling property on the market, I try to be as aggressive as possible. And not so aggressive that it's going to eat my margins, but aggressive enough so that my cash conversion cycle is as short as possible. And a lot of people price themselves out. You think that, like, this property is going to sell for 400K because, you know, you maybe saw one comp that sold for 350K. And so you try to list it at 400K thinking, like, yeah, I'm going to just start here and let's see. And then 100 days passes, you haven't sold the property. We're not in the game of listings. We're in the game of sold listings. You need to be in the game of sold listings. You don't need to be in the game of having listings. You're not a real estate agent. You're a land investor. So get in, get rich, get out. Or Get in, get out, get rich. Get in, get out, get rich. That's the process. Get in, get out, get rich as fast as possible. Get in, get out, 50K. Get in, get out, 30K. Get in, get out, 100K. This is how you build up your wealth. And then you keep doing that. Get in, get out, get rich. Get in, get out, get rich. Now I have people placed in all of those boxes of get in, get out. And I'm the one getting rich. So now I've taught people how to get into the deals, get them under contract, talk to the sellers, talk to the brokers, sell the properties, get out, and I collect the cash. And I give you guys, the 10% that I'm going to give you. This is the blueprint. This is the blueprint for, hey, yeah, I'm going to France for a few weeks. See you guys later. This is the blueprint for, yep, just bought that new car. This is the blueprint for, yep, just bought another investment property. Speaking of just bought that car. Anyways, so, yeah, it's just, I really do feel bad for the people that are just getting into this, that missed the boat, but it's not too late for you. And if you feel like it's too late, if you feel like it's saturated, this game will never become saturated because so many people are lazy now. So many guys are lazy because I've actually seen, even some colleagues that I know were just crushing it back then, now are struggling because it's not how it was back then. And they're still trying to run the business how it was back then. It's not like that anymore. It changes. This business changes so fast. So when people ask me about the competition, I'm like, you're not going to have any competition because this thing changes so fast that if you're not changing with it, if you're not changing with the times, if you're not innovating, if you're not trying new things, if you're not testing all the time, it's going to leave you. And you're going to be like, how come it's been 6 months and I haven't done any deals? How come I spent $30 or $40 or $50,000 on mail and I haven't got any deals back? How come I've sent out tens of thousands of texts and I haven't got any deals back? What the fuck is happening? It's because you're not changing with the times. It's because you're not framing sellers properly. It's because you have no brand. You have no brand. You have no brand recognition. It's because your team has no morale. It's because you don't protect your team members. It's because they don't care about you one way or another. They're gonna go get other jobs anyways. These are all the reasons why. So ultimately, the only threat to your business is you. The only threat to you not making as much money as possible is you. That's the only threat. The only threat to you not being able to travel all over the world and live the business and have the business of your life and live the life of your dreams, it's you. It's all you. Literally. This thing is not going to happen overnight. This thing is not going to be something that's like, oh yeah, I did this for a couple, you stick in with this. If you truthfully commit 5 to 7 years flipping land, you'll build a nest egg for yourself like no other. In 5 to 7 years from now, you'll have millions of dollars in cash. I can guarantee it. If that's what you want, if that's what you choose to have, that's what you want, you'll have it. How do I know? Because I've been able to do it. Because from the age of 20, when I got into wholesaling real estate, to 21, when I got into flipping land, and 22, 23, 24, 25, all I did was deals. All I do are deals. All I did was study markets. All I did was figure out, why do they get mad? What's the psychology behind them being pissed off? How do I diffuse that when we talk to them? Is there anything that I can put in my marketing that will diffuse them getting pissed off? So that way we can just have a conversation. How do I open up the conversation when they're pissed off? Or do I just leave it alone? How do I follow up when they're pissed off? This is all I would think about for years and years. And so now when you start to lap people, you start to see people regressing, not doing it anymore, going back to go get a job or going back to do other things. It's like, you didn't change with the times. You thought that this was a gravy train. You thought that this was the lottery. This is not the fucking lottery. We're running a business. So be in the mindset of the next 5 to 7 years, I'm going to use this as a vehicle to get extremely wealthy. I'm going to use land flipping as a vehicle to get extremely wealthy because most people will not do it. Most people won't do it. So I'm going to do what people are not willing to do. I'm going to do the deals. I'm going to be the operator. I'm going to be doing it. While you're trying to figure out if this is too saturated, and while you're trying to figure out if there's some secret cheat codes, I'm going to be figuring out how to be the best on the phone. I'm going to be figuring out how to handle objections. I'm going to be figuring out how to do more deals. And I'm not going to look for shortcuts. I'm not looking for cheat codes. I'm going to do this the right way. And I'm going to continue to do deals over and over and over again. When you have that mindset, when you have the mindset of I'm just going to persist and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing it right, because it's the thing, you can persist, you can be consistent, but if I throw the basketball, if I'm trying to throw a basketball into a hoop and I throw it this way and it's over there, I'm gonna miss every time. You can do it whatever you want. You got to do it the right way. I got to shoot the basketball into the hoop. I got to work on my analogies too, but I felt like that was a good one, so I just said it. Ultimately, use the land flipping business as a cash printing vehicle. Use it as something that can build you wealth, and be around people, be around groups that are going to change with the times, grow with the times, and that are doing it consistently, that are doing deals, have been through it all. The up cycle, the down cycle, the bad deal, the great deal, the home run, the single, the one that you thought you were going to make 50K on, but you only made 5K on, the one that you thought it was going to be a screamer, but it wasn't, the one that you didn't think was going to be a screamer, and then it ended up being a screamer. Been through it all. Been through it all. Be around those people. Be around those guys. Don't be around the guys that's done 2 or 3 deals. Be around the guys that are changing with the times. Be around the guys that are following up and being consistent and talking to people. Be around the guys that have teams, that are building systems. Be around people that are trying to improve their process from the time a lead comes into the CRM to the time the first contact goes out. Be around those people. Be around the people that are thinking about how many touch points I need to have to a deal. How many touch points do we have to a deal? Because when you know all your numbers, when you know how many conversations to a deal, how many touch points with the seller to a deal, when you know all of these things, the business becomes very easy. But you don't have the data. So you just think this shit is luck, and it's not luck. You have to have the data. You have to be able to compile the data. That's why I say when you go through a testing phase of like sending mail, sending text messages, talking to people, you have to be tracking everything. Should I track my KPIs? Yes. Everything, track everything so that you know where you're messing up. So build this business, build wealth, make as much money as you possibly can, and live the life that you want to live. Because you only get it once.